everyone, welcome back to another video. And if you're new, welcome to the show. Today we're back to the regularly scheduled program to talk about getting some exclusive items in next week's Season Pass extension, also known as stretch goals. The Caretaker, some exotics, Turmoil knee pads, and yes, the Lexington. I've spoken with so many of you saying that you don't have these items and where can you find them. So we're going to break that down, how, since the Division 2 announced what's coming in the stretch goals event. Now, before we sprint off into today's breakdown, I need to drop my shoutouts. On your screen is my thumbs up wall. This is a special thank you I made for those who have decided to put forth a little extra support to my channel. If you're interested in seeing your handle here, you just need to join the channel as a member. Subscribers and members are just one of the ways you could support this channel and the content that I publish. You all make it worth it to me to continue this little adventure I started so late in the game. It encourages me to keep going. So thank you all for the support. Okay, let's do it. The Division 2 announced it was going to take the servers down for a long 5-hour maintenance in preparation for what's coming. In the X announcement, they sent a link for the patch notes. Now, as a side note, in case you're unaware, their Trello board is open to the public. I will include the link to their Trello board in the video's description. I strongly encourage you new to the franchise to bookmark it. It's currently the best in real-time communication Ubisoft Massive Division provides for us. So first, what's actually happening? Well, the Division 2 has this event called Stretch Goals. It's basically an extension of the current seasonal pass. Once you hit Tier 100 in the regular pass, and yes, you have to get there first, you unlock Page 11, which is the bonus track that loops every 10 tiers. This isn't locked behind the Premium Pass, this is on the free track, so every player can access it as long as you've reached the main 100 tiers. And the reward structure is pretty simple. Every tier in this bonus loop gives you rewards, and in this particular case, Ubisoft is putting the Lexington AR and Turmoil knee pads into the reward pool. So every time you loop those bonus tiers, you get another shot at them. If you've been here since Seasons 2.0 started, you might remember seeing this event and the items they offer during certain global events or as a seasonal track reward. If you're newer, you might never have seen this outside of YouTube or other players already having them. Now, how it works mechanically is XP still comes from the same activities that powers your seasonal pass. Control points, main missions, bounties, open world activities, and of course, manhunt targets. And it's a simple regular progression once you've reached Tier 100, so it's just listed as Page 11. The loop doesn't have a cap either. If you want to grind 50 extra tiers, you can. Remember, if you have multiple characters and you do the projects on all of them, that XP counts too. Okay, so why is this a big deal? Well, because Ubisoft could have just left the season where it is. But instead, they're giving players, especially those of us already capped, a reason to keep logging in. It's a nice little carrot at the end of the stick for anyone still running builds or chasing very specific loot. Okay, so let's talk about the Lexington now. The Lexington is the named version of the LVAOC AR. If you've played the Division 1, you already know that the Lexington Event Center mission was a grind spot. The name was a nod to that history. In the Division 2, it's a high RPM AR with solid stability and punch that sets it apart from other M4 variants. It is arguably one of the best ARs in the Division 2. Initially, the Lexington was only obtained in a limited-time veteran reward system. Upon logging in during the availability period, a single player could receive a level 40 copy of this weapon directly into their inventory, and it was god-rolled. Now, the base stats at Expertise 0, well, the RPM is 850, the base damage, solid for its class, generally competitive with the Carbine 7 and Police M4. The magazine size had 30 rounds, and it had extendable magazines with the attachments. Handling was pretty good and pretty stable. Low recoil compared to the FAMAS or the AK platform. Now, it doesn't come with a named talent. When the Lexington dropped, you could change the talent to anything you wanted, which was fantastic as it could make it suitable to whatever build you were running. And hopefully, that's going to stay. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. Now, why people care? Well, the Lexington offers a combination of comfort and performance. It's easy to use, performs well in PvE, and for some builds, it's a dream pairing with the Coyote's Mask or the Memento Backpack because you can keep uptime on buffs without fighting the gun's behavior. It's also rare, not something you could just target farm any day of the week, so when it shows up as a guaranteed drop source, people take notice. Now for the Turmoil knee pads. If Lexington is all about raw, consistent AR fire, Turmoil is about survivability and utility. Turmoil knee pads are a named piece of Cheska gear, and their named talent, and the named talent sets it apart from the other items. They're just one of those pieces you don't use in every build, but when you do, they can make the difference between shorter and longer engagements. And the base rolls came with weapon damage, crit hit chance, crit hit damage. Now, the talent that's what makes it stand apart. It's called Bewildered. When dealing weapon damage to an enemy, 50% of that damage will be dealt to another enemy within 30 meters instead. When there are no more enemies nearby, deal damage normally. And it does not apply to armor plates. Okay, so while you're shooting one target, a nearby target within 30 meters of that target will get 50% of the damage. I've posted videos where I used this set of knee pads, and you may have seen the result of its talent. For full red DPS striker builds, it's pretty nasty. The Turmoil knee pads were a timed limited April Fool's Day event item that were granted to players upon logging in during that event. They were not obtainable through normal gameplay or grinding. If you didn't log in during the event, it had a FOMO potential, as it was hinted that players may have missed them permanently. And during the event, those of us who did log in, we only received one pair. But again, it was God-rolled. Like Lexington, this return puts it in front of a much wider audience, including new players who've never had the chance to build with them. So why is this a big deal in August 2025? Well, there's a couple reasons. The Division 2 is in its late life cycle phase, and getting people to log in between big dates is tricky. Seasonal pass extensions with meaningful loot are a rare retention tool. For players building out gear libraries, these name pieces aren't just trophies, they're functional additions to multiple builds. It shows that Ubisoft is willing to recycle desirable loot in a way that's actually accessible, not just locked behind limited events. Okay, so a full list of items that we're going to get. There's vanity items to be had and allegedly a high chance per cache until supplies run out. These include 5 pieces for the Wasp Warrior outfit, 4 arm patches, 2 weapon skins, the Wasp Warrior Trinket Backpack Trophy, and a partridge in a pear tree. We're also getting seasonal and special exotics with a moderate drop rate. For each cache, you're going to get the Pecan LMG, the Nimble holster, the Nemesis MMR, the Liberty pistol, the Chatterbox SMG, Dodge City Gunslinger's holster, and the Ridgeway's Pride chest piece. Now, for whatever reason, Ubisoft has deemed the Chatterbox SMG to have a slightly increased drop chance during the event compared to the other exotics. We're even getting named items with a moderate drop rate with each cache. As mentioned earlier, the Lexington AR, Turmoil knee pads. We're also getting the Caretaker AR, the Shield Splinterer AR, Hunter Killer chest piece, the Huntsman AR, First Sight AR, the Slayer SMG, the Slingshot SMG, the O'Carroll MMR, Handbasket, the Harvest pistol, Chill Out mask, Festive Delivery backpack, and Snow Machine knee pads. Graciously, Ubisoft has deemed that the Lexington AR to have a slightly increased drop chance during this event, and I'm assuming, based on past events, that the First Sight, Slayer, Slingshot, the O'Carroll, the Handbasket, the Harvest, the Chill Out mask, Festival Delivery backpack, and the Snow Machine knee pads will be dropped by the Loot Goblin. I am Not sure, however, if the Shield Splinter AR Hunter Killer chest piece or the Huntsman AR will drop without players having completed the Hunter masks to open the crates in DC, New York, Brooklyn. Now, the exclusive exotics to drop are the Regulus, Eagle Bearer, Ravenous, Bighorn, the Ouroboros, the Provocateur, and Birdie's Quick Fix backpack. The exclusive exotics will have a rare drop chance for each cache. I am hoping the loot pool for these exotics is better than last time. Cannot tell you how many times I ran the stretch goals just to get the same unneeded exotic over and over and over again. Okay, so let's take a moment to talk about efficiency. The fastest way I found to run through stretch goals and maximize how many times I could run through it before it concludes is to run priority stronghold missions, especially if there's extra reward XP in the reward section. It's pretty simple. Just open up the season event in your main menu, click on the priority missions tab, and look for the strongholds. Strongholds alone offer a good chunk of XP, even without the added extra XP reward. Strongholds are longer missions, yes, but I like doing them because it also offers a ton of resources I can gather up while I run it. It can be argued that control points or other content can offer the same amount of XP, if not more XP, in the time it takes for me to run a stronghold, especially one like Tidal Basin. I've had this, we'll call it a discussion before. However, it boils down to how you play, your game skill, and familiarity with the content. So if you think control points or other content gets you through the stretch goals faster, by all means do so. Me personally, I'll be running Tidal Basin in the Capitol building over and over again. Maybe the zoo will sneak in its way into the rotation. Who knows? Now, if you miss this event, you may have them returned. Ubisoft did hint they could come back after the initial drop, but they never really came out and said so. Now that they're back, we have no idea if they will return or if any of them will ever enter the common loot pool. So, FOMO at your own risk, I guess. This could be a test run. If stretch goals with named loot see high engagement, we might get rotations and old exclusives in further seasons. Who knows? In my opinion, the Lexington and Turmoil knee pads are some of the best items in the game. However, I would be surprised if they dropped with God-rolled attributes as they did before. Mind you, I won't complain if they do. It'll be a welcome surprise, but having played this game this long, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't. And that's fine, as long as you get them, so that you can make them God-rolled with resources. So it won't be a total loss. I also hope we could dump expertise into the turmoils. As of this video, they are not in the library to dump expertise into, so maybe that will change after this event. But they are worth the effort. S tier? Maybe. That's a matter of opinion. And a matter of how you set it up. So that's everything we know so far about getting the Lexington AR, the Turmoil knee pads, and other items coming back next week. I'll be grinding for mine as I want the knee pads on all my characters. If you're planning to grind away for any of these items, drop a comment on which ones you're chasing first. Thank you all for sticking around to the end of the video. You are my favorite viewers. Remember, we're on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Discord and X details are listed here on the screen and on the main page in the info tab. Come check us out. The Discord is open. Come hang out with us. Even if you're not joining the clans. We're always build theory crafting, and we play other games outside the division. Who knows? Maybe we play a game you also like. The Discord channel is built on community and expansion. I am trying to make it more than a one-stop shop for one title. I am trying to make it more of a social hub and not just Division players, but any gamer. I create rooms in the Discord based on requests for other titles as well as other platforms. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Hit the notification bell for more videos like this and the other content I'm coming up with so you don't miss a video. And until the next one, this is Hannibal, signing off.